Hey everybody, welcome to another evening, another episode of Jazz Cats, the coolest show on television, on the internet, on smart devices of all kinds. Uh, when it comes to jazz, you know me, I'm your host, Roger Pennsylvania. We're here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Uh, doing our part to build a global jazz community. And I always start by welcoming you all and thanking you all for not only tuning in to this show, but also for all you do to support the station, WJZZ, Detroit Jazz Radio, the oldest jazz station in the world. If you didn't know it, please look that up. But we are the oldest jazz station in the world. And I'm trying to live up to that legacy and walk in those shoes. So I am not the founder of the station, I am the current owner of it and proud of it, and I have a self duty responsibility to make sure that I provide the best entertainment and resources for jazz culture and all art as best I can. But I always welcome your comments, critiques, and I love to have your support. So if you've been supporting in all kind of ways, buying our tickets, buying our merchandise, just making donations, whether in cash or in kind, whatever you've been doing to support the station, it is appreciated, and I thank you. I'm not too proud to beg, so I ask you to keep supporting us because I do all I can, but I'm an independent operator, and so every little bit helps. So like I said, in kind, whatever. If you're a club owner, a promoter, a musician, you want to host a show, anything that we can do to support and advance jazz culture and art culture, let me know. I'm probably happy to do it, all things considered. And especially if you're in the Detroit metro area, I want to make this home base. My doors are always open to talent of all ages, especially for the young, ambitious musicians who may be light of funds, resources, whatever. Come to me. I'll do whatever I can to support you myself or to bring you whatever type of assistance I can bring. So as my influence in the culture grows, and then I will, be able to do more. So the more you support me, the more I can support. And one thing that's you're gonna hear more about it on this show and as I go, just trying to create a jazz culture. Hip hop has this culture, gospel has theirs, and every heavy metal, even disco and all that. I want the jazz to be back to the top of the music mountain and the entertainment mountain, and I want to get opportunities for jazz artists. So, I'm talking to the people who understand it and appreciate it. If you think I'm a broken record with that philosophy, then you're entitled to that, and I respect that. Other than that, we don't have to talk because there's no other consideration for me. So that's where I'm at. I'm respectful and I enjoy all types of music and I support it. I buy tickets. I do other types of shows, other channels. So I personally host this one because I like jazz more than other kinds of music. But you'll see me at the opera, you'll see me at a hip hop, you'll see me at a gospel, you'll see me at a heavy metal. So even at folk, sometimes I'm in Ann Arbor at the Arc, or I'm at some little dive joint with a bunch of folk people. Sometimes I'm in a backyard or at a park with some folk people. So before you criticize me, please do my history. And if you're thinking about supporting myself in the station, then I welcome you to get to know me either personally or through the internet, however you choose to do it. But I have an open door policy. You can find me here at the studio and all that. So thank you and welcome. And right now, I'm always happy when I get these jazz guests here, and especially when they're the young, up and coming lions of the jazz, and especially when they come from the Detroit metro area. Detroit is my home. I'm a Detroit native, a homeboy, as they say in the hood. and I'm from the west side of Detroit. But all of Detroit is my neighborhood. And tonight we have a great guy. I think so much of him that I booked him for an upcoming show, which you're going to hear about. But without more ado, then welcome to the show, Matt LaRusso, jazz guitarist.
Thanks for having me here, Roger.
Thank you, Matt. So, listen, man, let's get right into it because the time flies around here. We keep it moving. As I said, told everybody, got you booked July 13th at the Jazz Cafe.
Yes,
as
sir.
Part of our Legacy series.
Yeah, the day before my birthday, actually.
Okay,
so.
see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll be celebrating at midnight.
Okay,
so.
well, we go party. We'll start celebrating early, man. So, I always leave it to the artist to play what you want to play. I tell a lot of the regulars that I have, supporters, and I have a couple that they're always there, but they always tell me, hey, tell him to play this and tell him to play that. And coming from an artist family and knowing a bunch of artists, I know most artists hate that. Most artists hate to take requests and all that, and they like to express themselves and do their originals and all that.
I gotta say, I think it's dependent on the artists themselves.
Okay.
I think especially in Detroit, I see it as like a blue-collar city. So it's musicians want to work 7 days a week and kind of piece together their salary for the year and everything like that. Like, we want to play. So for me, at least, as a guitar player, as a rhythm section player, I am down to always just play music for the people. So if somebody wants something, I'm always, shout it out from the audience. Like, don't be silent, just let us know. And we can start curating a show for you. So personally, I don't mind that. But I understand also there's a lot of artists that have a vision and an agenda that they're trying to see through too. So it can be distracting.
Yeah, so just as a promoter, all I ask is that you're there on time and that you do the gig as we talked about. Other than that, as far as I don't like to hamstring an artist and lock them in a box because I pretty much know what I'm expecting, but I like to be surprised too. I like to be blown away too. And so, that's just me as a promoter. I leave it up to the artists to do their thing.
Yeah.
And I like to, sometimes when the audience, I have a reputation now that the audience know if I book somebody, they have talent. I'm not going to put up, I have a lot of artists who I know personally, and we get along, and I consider them friends, associates, whatever, but I won't book them.
Yeah.
Because either they don't really do jazz, or I'm not comfortable with the talent level.
Yeah, it's important to have a standard and a threshold. And I mean, we talk about the scene in Detroit, and at least in my time on the scene, I've seen so much fluctuation with some of the venues here, who they're willing to book, why they're willing to book it, and it always comes down to the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
So sometimes that leaves creativity outside the door, in my opinion, which is sad. But it's great to see somebody like you, somebody stepping up and filling that void and trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, so let's, you touched on something, and I want to jump on it as we go. You said, for my time in the business. Explain, what is your time in the business? Because, looking at you, I know you're younger than me. And so explain your origins and evolution in music, period, but also jazz. So when did you start, and give us the whole story?
Absolutely. So I just got to let everybody know I'm Korean. So I feel like Korean guys, we look young until we look old, okay. So it just kind of hits like that. But I started playing guitar when I was 5 in 1995. Started playing classical music my teacher was telling me that's the best way to get facility, learn how to read, and then from there you can do whatever you want. So from 5 to 15, I was doing classical guitar, studying at Wayne State University with Professor Lee Diamond. Started getting into jazz when I was 10, got my first jazz album, Lee Morgan, and Art Blakey, Monin. So from there I started picking up trumpet, wanted to be Lee Morgan, just wanted to play the blues, wanted to play fast and vicious solos. So I got into Michigan State University when I was 18. on trumpet, studying under Derek Gardner.
Okay.
So Rodney Whitaker took me in, and Randy Gillespie, and all those great professors, great musicians in their own right.
You got a good resume, man.
But then that summer, I actually got punched in the face, and it stopped me dead in my tracks playing trumpet. So guitar.
So you mean you literally got punched in the face?
Oh yeah, Higgins
okay.
Lake. Yeah, they did not like me there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at a party.
What's that? Some little hillbilly?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I've heard of Higgins Lake, but never been there. But I don't know who's punching musicians in the face because they don't like them.
Yeah.
We don't even do that in Detroit. They might boo you and walk out on you, but I don't know, to my knowledge, beat anybody up.
Yeah.
So I just figured it's a bunch of hillbillies. Okay.
It was exactly that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
But then even back then, and when it was all happening and going down, my parents were really upset. They're like, "What's gonna happen?" And I was like, "It's fine. I'll just pick up the guitar again and kind of go back into it and start learning jazz on the guitar."
So it was out of necessity for your love for music, and they physically messed your mouth up, like in the Mo' Better Blues movie. So
hairline fracture down my face.
And I think that really happened to Chet Baker too.
Yep, with his lip and his teeth.
Yeah, they knocked all his teeth out. Everything.
Woody Shaw too.
Yeah, it changed his sound. So he came back, but he never had the same sound. But he still was good enough that he created a new sound. And even in rap, it happened to 50 Cent.
Yeah.
It changed his sound, but he bounced back. So
that's true.
True talent never dies. So so you by default you went to the guitar.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So started guitar. Lee Morgan changed me into a brass player. When I got hit, I saw it as an opportunity. So I just kind of really ran with it. At that point, I was into Joe Pass and Wes Montgomery and Grant Green already.
Okay.
So I had those sounds in my ear. The teacher at Michigan State at the time was Joe Gloss, but then the next year, Perry Hughes came in. Okay. For the rest of my time at Michigan State was with Perry Hughes, who is the professor of guitar.
Top notch.
He introduced me to Earl Klugh and George Benson and
legends.
Oh man, yeah, Buddy Guy. I remember in Chicago we were hanging out in George Benson's hotel room, and Norman Brown came in, and then Buddy Guy,
man.
and they're like, "Oh man, if you got here last night, BB King was playing with us at Buddy Guy's place." I was like, so I knew I was in. For that moment, I was in this.
You were still a teenager then, weren't you?
Yeah, 18,
okay.
19.
Yeah.
I still have a picture of it on Facebook, so if somebody wants to think I'm fibbing, I'll prove it to them.
Right. Okay, so you got into music at 5. Wanted to do trumpet. Do you still like Lee Morgan?
Oh, I still love.
And
Lee
so
Morgan.
you take Morgan over Miles Davis?
Nowadays, man, Clark Terry, he's my number one. I mean, Miles, whenever I put him on, it just kind of changes everything about what I want to do musically. So to me, it's dangerous. There's a few players like that. Miles Davis makes me want to change everything I'm doing. Wes Montgomery makes me want to change everything I'm doing. Grant Green, so if I listen to him and then I have a gig that night, like it's game over. Like I'm going to be playing that bag.
Okay. So that's cool. I mean, like you got a hell of a resume of teachers, man, and the exposure that you got at such a early age, man. So obviously you recovered from the physical damage, but I guess by that time you just said to hell with it, I'm sticking with the guitar.
Yeah, it was so much work. Guitar is a really vicious instrument. At least learning how to play improvisation and playing through changes and playing the changes, playing Coltrane on it, playing Bird on it, it's difficult. You got to really engineer how you're moving through the strings and the neck. So it's a very personal instrument,
Well, man, I told you, we keep it moving around here, so it's almost time for a break already. But I want to get, like, right before we do the station ID and everything, what's your style of play? And what's your brand of choice? I know you told me before we got in here, but let the people know what's your weapon of choice.
If it doesn't have the blues in it, it doesn't speak to me. I need a little bit of blues. I need some bebop, and then I need melodicism. Like Grant Green and George Benson. I need that space like Miles. So it needs to be everything for me to be happy, or even happy with what I'm listening to,
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it fair to say you like to get like in a up-tempo type of groove, a little funkier and things like that?
I like the up tempos to be fast. I like the slow songs to be real slow. You got to put some blueses in there. You got to play them right. You can't, it's not just a filler. You know, you got to play the tune. So.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick station ID and let everybody know what's happening with us. So everybody, again, thank you for watching Jazz Cats, the coolest jazz station in the world with WJZZ. And I think I'm the coolest jazz host and jazz show. If you don't think so, or if you do, give me your feedback. Let me know. Like, follow, share, subscribe to your favorite platform. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and all the top social media platforms. Every Wednesday at 8 we go live, and then you can watch back on demand if you missed it for any reason. You know, you might be making out, or you might be cooking or changing diapers, or whatever the thing is, right? Maybe watching the game, but let us know you're watching. Check in at whatever's good for you. Thank you for watching, and I want to let you know right now some stuff that we got going on. So we got Matt here. I don't need to look at it because I'm the promoter of that show. On July the 13th at the Aretha Jazz Cafe inside the Music Hall in downtown Detroit, we got the Matt LaRusso Trio. He's a guitar player. You hear him now. He's on the show with me right now, and you can hear more about it. And that's tickets right now. We're having a special. I want everybody to come out with no excuses. So that's how much I want to support this guy and his trio. And I do this from different artists, especially the younger people. I want to push them. So we're doing a 2-for-1. Buy one, every ticket you buy, you get a ticket free, because I wanted to take all. It's a perfect date night, guys. Listen, you can't beat this deal. You can get the old lady. You can go to a classy place. She'll be glad that you shaved and put a sport coat on. You don't have to go full suit if you like a t-shirt guy, but it's the perfect. Get the old lady off your back, take her on a cheap date. She'll think you spent $1 million. She's gonna hear Matt play. She's gonna be blown away. And hey, man, if you get lucky, you can thank me. So that's what's gonna happen July 13th at Music Hall Jazz Cafe. Great place, convenient, from 7 p.m. to 9. And if you guys really get into it, Matt may do an encore. But tickets available on eventbrite.com. Go there. They'll hook you up. All right? And let's see what else we got. We have the summer series at Recovery Park. That's right here where we are. We got an open space. We do a lot of events there with a stage, all the whole nine. So the summer series is sponsored by Recovery Park. 5470 Shane, right here in Detroit, in the Black Bottom historic Black Bottom community. And we got Larry Lee in the Back of the Day Band on Saturday, July 22nd. Larry's like a local legend here, doing funk and soul, R&B, and a little bit of everything. We got Brandon Rose and the Soul Therapy on Saturday, July 29th. And then we got Trifocal on Saturday, August the 5th. And Trifocal, that's a combination. They're going to have an art fair too. So going to be a lot of local artists. The space is grassroots. You can bring your own chair. You can bring your own cooler. Wink, wink. We're not going, we're going to trust that you're not bringing a bomb in. So whatever you got in your cooler, nobody's going to check, you know what I'm saying? It's friendly. It's bring your own stuff, and that you like to relax. And then last but not least, everybody, join us on Saturday, July the 16th for the 28th annual Michigan Jazz Festival at the Vista Tech Center at Schoolcraft College in Livonia. The festival features the best Michigan jazz musicians. It's convenient, it's free parking, it's air-conditioned comfort, great food, and Schoolcraft College's award-winning craft beer. Yes, everybody, they have some beer. Okay, it starts at noon. Jazz clinics begin at 10:30. In case you want some master tips, I can't tell you, like, it's going to be a bunch of bands there. I think it's 30 with over live in person with over 35 bands across 6 stages, right? So it's all day long of jazz, and it's free. And go out and support again. Guys, I'm talking to you. I know how cheap we are. I know how time, it's a Saturday, it's a Sunday. You don't want to do all this stuff. Take the wife out, take the girlfriend out, and get some jazz. Support the culture, support the musicians, and have a great time. You're gonna be glad you did. So again, I'm gonna announce this again in the rest of the show, but I want to get back to Matt. So thank you, everybody. So Matt, man, it's a rough gig I have doing this promoting stuff, man, but it's all worth it on the day of the concerts.
Yeah.
So getting back to our little thing together, give me a little peek at what we can expect, man, on the 13th when you play the WJZZ Jazz Legacy Series, man. What that means to me, just so you know, one, the standard is you can't get on that gig unless I feel you have the talent for it. And I have people that advise me that I refer to, like Wendell Harrison.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Bobby Lau.
Mm-hmm.
Different people that I call up, real bona fide music people, not just jazz people.
Yeah.
But really, and I say, what you think of this guy? And I ask everybody, and then I trust my own opinion at the end of the day, but I value what they have to say, because for me, I want, excuse me, I want that series, excuse me.
Bless you.
Need some water. Excuse me, everybody. Engineer, please, if you can, drop me a bottle of water, please. But I want it to be a premier thing, like we say.
Yeah.
So I do all kind of other stuff to cultivate artists and to showcase up and coming talent.
Yeah.
And then we even bring in some masters from time to time, which everybody knows that costs more,
of course,
to produce. So the Legacy series, I have to keep it tight because I'm trying to put my reputation. And so it's about the talent, it's about the venue, it's about the luxury and the convenience of the show. Thank you. So that's what it means to me, man.
Mm-hmm.
So give us a peek of what we can expect. I don't want you to show your whole hand, but just let us know what we can expect.
It's going to be a complete reflection of me. I'll do a couple of my own tunes, originals, just, try to keep it fresh. It's got a little bit different of sound. I'll be doing some Grant. I'll be doing some Wes. I'll be doing some songs that might be considered top 40 or Billboard hits or whatever.
Okay.
But, just try to curate the songs and the playlist to reflect me and reflect Detroit. Do some Detroit composer songs like Lawrence Williams tunes and stuff. Okay. And I'll leave the rest, you got to come out and see it. Okay, cool. And tell us a little bit about your backup, man, the two guys that's with you. Give us a little insight about them. Absolutely. Joe Vasquez is going to be on bass. He's an old friend of mine. We used to live with him in Lansing when we both attended Michigan State University. So he's one of Rodney Whitaker's students. Okay. Big bass sound, know, and he's a true bass player. He's always saying like solos are great and everything, but I just want to play that quarter note. I want to keep it bumping, Okay. And the other musician is a great trumpet player from the area, Dave Vasella. Okay, I know. I've checked Dave out at Northern Lights a few times. Absolutely, and that guy, he can do everything, man. Yeah. He can do everything. It's surprising. Yeah, I think I saw him on a jam one time at Noah. Noah hosts that jam on Wednesdays. Full Circle, yeah. And I got a chance. It was Dave and Alan Denard, Trinino Lowe, Noah Jackson. I can't remember the drummer, but he was badass. Yeah, could have been Alex White, could have been Michael Reed. I know he cycles through some guys. What's the one that has the locks? Lewis Jones. Okay, yeah, that's who it was. A young master in his own right. Yeah, he was killing it. Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm hip to Dave, man. So he's in the trio.
Yep.
So okay, you know what? I'm a little more comfortable, even more so than I was. Okay, cool, because I know he's a badass trumpeter. So and you can play, and I'm gonna take you. Well, if Rodney Whitaker taught somebody how to play bass, then they know how to play bass.
Yeah, Joe is. You'll hear it too. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a presence on the bass. It's not just playing the notes. It's
now,
something.
Is the trio everybody the same peer group? I know you say you and one guy went to college.
Mm-hmm.
Dave is a little bit older, right? Or is he in your peer group?
You know how it is with us. I don't know the age of any of my friends, man. We're all the same age in terms of the music.
But
so.
It's a younger band. The reason I'm saying that, I want everybody, listen everybody, it's dear to me. Jazz is dear to me, but I want to support another generation of jazz. I want young people, when I say young, I want to say 35 on down, to start really having an appreciation for jazz, that they like it. They actually like it. And they actually support it and buy the music and buy the tickets to the shows and just adopt jazz culture. Like a lot, it's an education process to this, but jazz is a subculture. It was, they had their own fashion, their own lingo. A lot of jazz musicians were always at the forefront of social change, politics, activism, especially when it comes to cannabis, racial divides and things like that. And if you don't know all about that history, check it out, because it was the jazz artists who changed the game for musicians, and to play around the world and to make lots of money and to get into films and to influence fashion and to influence racial unity and things like that. So they didn't just play records. They were always outspoken activisms for people, for social change, all this kind of stuff. So check it out. I don't want to get on the soapbox, but I really enjoy when it's younger people and I like to watch them develop, that they become masters, and I can say, hey, I knew that guy when he was right out of college. I knew that kid when he was in the school program and things like that. It's a personal thing I get out of it. So everybody has their own thing, but I just want to say that. So support these guys, and they really do this for a living, and they need your support. So let's start showing Detroit love, and show love all the time. But I'm doing this Detroit thing right now. So man, I had this break in our action just to plug jazz and young musicianship anytime I get a chance.
It's important, man. Yeah, you got to get everybody on board, and it's the artist's job to make sure that it's successful too.
Yeah.
So you can't just be up there playing just for yourself, and that's something that I had to learn in my own journey. So.
Yeah. So tell me this, man, because I see another break coming up already. Give me some of the highlights of your career. I know meeting these masters and these top-notch musicians. Like, I love Norman Brown.
Yo, yeah, absolutely.
I love Norman Brown, and Norman is he's in the peer group that he's not young anymore, but I've been following him but he's not old either.
Right.
But he's been around for a long time, and I love his music, and I try to catch him every time I can. He's one of the artists that I'll cross state lines,
Yeah.
Some people you say, well, I'll wait for him to come here. Mm-hmm. But then there's some people I had to get in the car
and go
check them out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so he's one of them. So what's some of the highlights thus far? I know you got a long way to go, man. But have you played overseas, or have you played the big? Give me some highlights about that's memorable to you.
About 5 years ago, I went out with this band called The Crucial Elements. Anthony Stanko, he's the trumpet professor at Michigan State University right now, after A.T. and Charles just left Miami. So we went out to Saudi Arabia, actually.
Oh, okay.
This is right after they legalized music. It was illegal to play music.
Any kind of music?
Except for religious music.
Okay.
So you can do music if you're practicing your religion.
Okay.
But that was it. Otherwise, it was illegal, and you can be taken away. Yeah.
Dealt with.
Yep.
Okay.
So we were there. We went with a great young saxophone player from New York City who was a lesbian, and that's very obviously culturally, taboo for Saudi Arabia. So we went out with a pretty progressive band. It was very diverse. That was incredible, just to kind of open everybody's eyes to how love and music can bring everybody together. Because at the end of the shows, nobody cared about any of that, you know.
Right. And I'm guessing like it's not that many people that could have brought promoted one. So it had to be like some wealthy person with a lot of power.
Uncle Sam actually.
So this was like some kind of
tour.
Friendly relations politic type of thing.
Yep.
Okay.
But we were still traveling around, and we had a driver. It was a van that was had a 3-inch sheet of metal on the bottom of the van, just so
armored vehicle. Yeah.
Bulletproof glass and everything.
So that's a hell of an experience, man. So
incredible.
I mean, that's kind of historic. So you guys, you said it was right after they legalized it. So you were one of the first Western bands to come in and do anything.
Something. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a hell of a. Okay, yeah, that's something to remember, man.
So that was incredible, but last year, I believe, I was playing at the DSO, actually, just doing solo guitar for one of the fundraisers, and Branford Marsalis was there, and the promoter's like, oh, it'd be great if you and Branford could play a tune. I'm like, Branford's not going to want to play with me. So, the dinner was going on. I saw Branford, enjoying himself in the back of the room and everything, and he never came up to me until the last hour. He came up to me, he's like, hey man, the soloing and everything's great, but you're playing alone, just play the tune and just play the tune and turn it into something yourself. You don't have to solo since you're by yourself. You don't have to play in time. You can stretch out in different ways that you can't with a band. So I was like, all right. So did that. Next hour went by, didn't see him, went out to Cliff Bell's, and I saw Noah Jackson. He was playing there with Johnny O'Neill. And Noah said, I just got off the phone with Branford, and he wouldn't shut up about you. I was like, oh, man, that's incredible. So that was definitely one of the highlights of my entire career.
Cool. Again, you got another ace up your sleeve, man. One of the Marsalis family gives you the nod. That's the top-notch music family.
Yeah.
They're not playing around so if they say somebody's good or whatever, they must be. So what's the gig you want to play? What's on your bucket list, man?
Oh man,
as a jazz guy, like the Crown, what do you it might change, as man unfolds, but today, what's your what you want to do? What's the gig, your dream gig?
Honestly, I was born in Korea, but I was raised downriver Detroit, and moved here with my wife after college, so. For me, there's no accolade better than just kind of giving the older generation their time on the stage too. The ones that, for whatever reason, people are just, the young guys don't know about and they don't go check out and everything. So, Larry Smith just passed, and it was just incredible that there's a whole generation of saxophone players that don't know who he is and don't know what he did. So I just want to prevent that from ever happening again. So for me, it's making the scene to be all-inclusive. There's no age divides, no racial divides, and I think that's the way that Detroit music has to keep going forward.
Okay, but I respect that because I'm on that same thing, man. I'm behind the scenes type of a deal.
Yeah.
So big shout to you for that one, and I appreciate that. So let me blow through these things again, and so we can wrap up the show. Everybody. You're watching Jazz Cats every Wednesday at 8 p.m. I'm your host, Roger Pennsylvania. You're watching on Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Hit that like button and subscribe and follow and comment and share, all that kind of stuff. If you want to donate to us, right now we're going to set up some other cash apps and all this stuff, but you can cash app right now on WJZZ Jazz. WJZZ Jazz. And if you just put donation or some type of notation on there, we'll get the receipt so you can give it to Uncle Sam and write it off on your taxes as a charity donation. And we have different things we do for the kids, for the youth. So if you want to donate instruments or you want to open your venue up for possible workshops and things of that nature. Anything you want to do to partner with WJZZ or the jazz culture, let me know. I'm open to it, and I will appreciate it and make sure you get taken care of in whatever the appropriate way is. So thanks for watching, and let me give you some announcements. And this, everybody, please support the Michigan Jazz Festival. So I'm going to read it exactly from my little cue card because I don't want to mess anything up ad lib. Join us on Join us on Sunday, July the 16th for the 28th Annual Michigan Jazz Festival at the Wjzz Tech Center at Schoolcraft College in Livonia, Michigan. It's all jazz, live and in person with over 35 bands across 6 stages, everybody. All day long, and it's free. Free, 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 free. Tell everybody, start sharing right now, make plans, go out as the mob. Guys, take your dates. Wives, take your husbands, get them some culture. Do all that good stuff. The festival features the best Michigan jazz musicians, convenient free parking, air-conditioned comfort, great food, and Schoolcraft's award-winning craft beer. It starts at noon. Jazz clinics begin at 10:30 a.m. For more information, visit MichiganJazzFestival.org. MichiganJazzFestival.org. Or you can contact us at WJZZ and we'll, give you the information as always. In the summer series at Recovery Park. So we got Larry Lee and the Back in the Day Band on Saturday, July 22nd. Brandon Rose and Soul Therapy on Saturday, July 29th. And Trifocal on Saturday, August the 5th. It's an art fair with that. It's at 5470 Shane in Detroit's historic Black Bottom community. And it's all on a Saturday. So if you need more information, contact Recovery Park or contact WJZZ. And we want to plug, we got Matt LaRusso in the station now live. He's going to be on July 13th for the WJZZ Legacy Jazz Series at Aretha's Jazz Cafe, downtown Detroit in the Music Hall. It's a little intimate room, really, cozy and elegant. So Matt and his trio will be there. And we got a special guest, Taylor Smith, who's a jazz vocalist. She's going to come out, do a couple songs. She's a young lady making a name for herself. You gotta check her out. This is gonna be a hell of a show. It's hosted by Sky Covington. Everybody in Detroit and all the way over in Europe, everybody knows Sky. So Sky's gonna be the special guest host for that. Tickets are on special now. Buy one, get one free. Tickets are $20 on Eventbrite.com. So you're getting 2 tickets for $20. Top notch show. Who knows? If everybody is like making some noise, Sky might even throw in and do a little something. So I just gave you an inside track. Tug at Sky's heartstrings. She might sing a song for you. So everybody, come on out to Aretha Jazz Cafe on July 13th, 7 to 9 p.m. 7 p.m. to 9. That's the proper way. Tickets 2 for 1 on sale. You can go to Eventbrite.com. Matt will be there, but tell all your friends right now because Matt is here in the studio, and we're going to get back to this interview before we out of here. And you can watch it on demand. If you missed anything, watch the whole interview and learn about Matt LaRusso and his trio if you didn't know. And if you didn't know, I told you. So give me the credit for it. Leave it in the comments, and I'll talk to you in a minute. So, Matt, thank you, man, for letting me plug.
Yes, sir.
On the last one, maybe we'll let you plug. But right now, what's the plans, man, for you got the gig with me and WJZZ on the 13th. Let us know everywhere else to find you because I don't want to run out of time before we know what's happening with you and the trio.
Absolutely. So right now I'm doing a lot more side manning. I'm actually expecting my first kid in December.
Big props for that.
Yeah, and as you know, as a promoter and everything, the emails and getting everything together, getting the bands, it's a lot of behind the scenes work. So right now I'm just kind of blessed to be able to be playing with other people that are looking out after me and willing to give me a call if they get a gig. So I'm in full get ready for dad mode right now.
Okay.
But that being said, I have a couple projects, one with Paul Keller out of Ann Arbor.
Okay.
It's going to be a 2-guitar project, 2 guitars, vibraphone, and bass. No drums. It's probably the hardest music I've ever done. And that's been a lot of fun. Also, I play with RJ Spangler and John Paxton.
Okay.
And our album is, I think, #1 on the Roots Billboard for Michigan.
Okay.
So we've been promoting that and pushing that hard, and we're trying to think about maybe moving it out into different regions of the U.S.
Okay. That's with our RJ Spangler?
Yeah,
so
RJ Spangler.
What's the name of the album?
That is called Wjzz.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. We produced it and published it through East Lawn Records, which is one of RJ's projects as well. And our first album was actually through Mack Avenue Records, the Detroit Music Factory.
Okay, cool. All right, and I said thank you in reference to I appreciate young guys having a family. I'm a family man. I got married when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
I was married for over 30 years. I'm divorced now, but I'm still a family man, and hopefully I might get married soon. I'm not a single guy. I really don't know how to be single, so I tip my hat when it's another young guy that's excited to be a family. So
well, it's good to know. I'll keep my eye out, and if I see any single,
hey,
women
man,
walking around.
They find me. I don't have a problem getting suitors of the female persuasion. Sometimes it's the new females, if you catch my drift. But I just have to be feeling it, man, that it's the right, getting married at a young age and going through all the ups and downs. I love the married life and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to deal with the crazy stuff. So that's my only reservation. But if if the right woman comes along, then I can do it.
Find you a good Korean Italian girl like
yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend now.
Okay.
And I mean,
I
gotta say that, else she'll be like, hey, wait a minute, wait, you entertaining thoughts and all this kind of stuff. So no, I have a lovely lady, and she's cool, and she puts up with me and all that. So. Let me clean up aisle 7 spill. But yeah, back to you, man. This show is about you.
Yes, sir.
For right now. So heritage wise, Korean.
Yep. So I'm South Korean, but I was adopted into a South Italian family.
Okay.
So instead of growing up on kimchi and rice, I grew up on spaghetti and meatballs.
Well, we had that in common. I grew up, my father's side of the family is Sicilian, so I that was my whole thing growing up.
Yeah.
And so we share that in common.
Absolutely. South Italian is the best Italian. So
yeah. Well, Sicily is the north, but we on a tech. So that's a hell of a dynamic there, because my mother is Danish and African American, or as she liked to say, Moorish, meaning the people, not the religious part. She just fancied Moor was, I guess, more exotic than black or whatever. That's how she used to say. But anyway, that's my heritage. So we have some common points. But now I have a friend, man, who's Chinese.
Uh-huh.
And she's a businesswoman, successful businesswoman, and she was explaining to me how the Asian culture, with all the Asian, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, etc., right? They love the music. They love the soul, the jazz, the blues, but they're scared to come to Detroit.
Yep.
So I made a pledge to her that I was going to do everything I can. And she runs a Detroit business in Detroit, right? And so we're going to partner up to do some things. And her place is really upscale. It's secure, it's nice and everything.
Yeah.
And I would plug it, but I'm not sure she's comfortable with me doing that.
Of course.
So I'm not saying who and where. But I just want to, you being Asian American, and you claim it, you talked about the adopted Italian family, but you still seem to be identifying and proud to be Korean, so I can respect that. I like that. You nodded your head when I said they're scared to come to Detroit. Are you, my point what I'm trying to ask, because I want to ask a favor from you, but are you plugged into the Asian community in Michigan? So what are we, southeastern Michigan, I guess? But are you plugged in, like, where you go to those, you with that culture and everything? So you agree they're scared to come to Detroit?
Yeah, I'm not personally plugged in, but I did have one Korean girlfriend in college, so that taught me a lot about the culture, that because I didn't have anybody to teach me about it.
Right.
But what I will say is that I don't really fit in with that, especially being adopted, being a little darker skin tone Korean guy. There's a lot of things in Korean culture that I found out about. So like I wasn't able to meet her mom and everything because
it's real traditional. Yeah.
Very traditional. Yeah. Very conservative in that traditional sense, and all of Southeast Asia is sort of that way. Japan, Korea, China, very proud of their heritage, and they don't want it to go away, so they like to...
They're very protective of it. Right?
Yes, very much so.
I think, I found in my life experience, I'm 58, I've been around a lot of different things, I was in the military, different things, right? I think every culture is like that.
Yeah.
Even in the British culture, they're still like a closed society, in my opinion, more elitists and things like that, because they look at the United States as a bastard stepchild, if you will.
Yeah.
Like we took the King's English and mangled it, and different things like that, right? So I think every place else in the world is protective, either for religious reasons or cultural reasons or even racial reasons, right? Which is crazy to me, because I think all the Asians, except for like maybe China or if an island somewhere that was an island, have Mongolian blood, because Genghis and his boys,
right?
And that's why they built the Great Wall, But it's so everybody's mixed up, man. But back to the thing I was at, with the intel that you have, do you have any insights or advice on what her and I can do to entice the Asian population throughout the Detroit metro area or wherever to come into Detroit?
Yeah.
Like, we know they're scared of the safety factors,
yeah,
and things like that. And but how do we get that message? Because even the Asian, when I say the Asian, as far as Orient Asian or even Indians or not, who go to school at Wayne State or whatever, they like go to school, go to class, and then get the hell out of here.
Right.
They don't really mingle about in the communities or the neighborhoods. And I think the outside people are more scared of Detroiters and just have a miseducation or whatever from propaganda, because nobody wants to hurt them or bother them or do anything to them, and they're welcome.
Right.
But they don't know it. So what's your advice, man?
It's really sad because Chinatown existed on Petersboro until M-Town, right?
Now Midtown. I'm old,
I know.
Right? So it's still Cass Corridor to me. But yeah,
it's
you're
so
right.
sad that went away, because that like having like Chinatown in San Francisco or New York City, it's just the stepping stone into America for a lot of immigrants that are coming into town, and we kind of blew ours up. And where do you go to get really good Chinese food or Korean food or Japanese food? And through my time living here, I kind of have my own spots. But if you're Japanese, you want to go to Novi, or Royal Oak has some really good sushi.
Okay.
If you're Korean, you want to go all the way up to Madison Heights, or Lansing has a big Korean population. But there's no central hub of culture that makes people feel at home. So that's kind of what we're going up against, in my opinion, is trying to invite people over, and everything in this world is going to be hard for you.
Right. It's not just the safety factor. Is like, well, what the hell are we gonna do when we get there?
Right. You don't speak English. You don't know.
We don't have our food. We don't. So we need to blend other cultural things so that we'll have a destination.
Right.
And then also have the safety too.
I think business owners, entrepreneurship. There should be more Korean restaurants in Detroit. Why aren't there?
Well, man, the time is coming to an end. Before we get out of here, thanks for answering that for me. And I'll get to the favor, but tell everybody where to find you, how to book you for a gig, all of that.
Absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook. My name's Matt LaRusso, LORUSSO. I think I'll be the only Korean-looking LaRusso on the entirety of the internet, so shouldn't be too hard to find. And my Instagram is also Matt LaRusso Music, and I don't use any other social medias. Sometimes Reddit, which is Matt LaRusso Music as well. So.
Okay. All right, cool. And the favor I was going to ask, and I'm putting you on the spot because it's on the public, but no, I want to help her, and she's doing a lot of stuff, and we do charity. So maybe, man, if your schedule allows, I want to call on you to do some kind of gig with us at her place. And this,
man,
all I can tell you is it's a big mansion. It's a big mansion.
I would love to do even more than that. I would love to try to get people out here because I think once people are here, they'll love it.
Okay, well, we're going to work together on that, man. But I want to thank you for being here. Again, everybody, I'm going to plug, come to the Aretha Jazz Cafe July 13th between 7 p.m. and 9 at the Music Hall. Jazz Cafe is downstairs to check out Matt LaRusso Trio playing for the WJZZ Legacy Jazz Series. 2-for-1 tickets. Buy one ticket, get one free. For every ticket you buy, no limit. It's only $20. Perfect date. It's a safe, intimate, elegant place. And Matt is top notch. You're going to love the show. We got Taylor Smith coming as a guest vocalist to do a little something. So that's a bonus treat. And it's hosted by the one and only Sky Covington. So if you don't know about Sky, which I don't know how you can't know Sky Covington, especially if you're in Michigan. I didn't say Detroit, I said Michigan. But come check that out. And everybody be sure to check out the Michigan Jazz Festival. So we got Sunday, July 16th for the 28th Annual Michigan Jazz Festival at the Vista Tech Center, Schoolcraft College in Livonia. It's all jazz, live, in person, with over 35 bands. 35 bands across 6 stages, and it's free. It starts at noon. The jazz clinics begin at 10:30, so you can get some education, 10:30 a.m. And then the festival features the best Michigan jazz musicians, convenient free parking, air-conditioned comfort, great food, and Schoolcraft's award-winning craft beer. So come on, you can't beat that. I don't know what else you want. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the station. Listen to the great jazz music at WJZZ DetroitRadio.com. WJZZ DetroitRadio.com. You can hear the station. And if you want to write us or something, you can inbox me, or you can go to connect at WJZZ DetroitRadio.com. So thanks for watching. Talk to you next week.